Welcome back to my 200+ hour update of using the Comprehensible Thai YouTube channel. This video is gonna be really exciting because a lot of changes have occurred. I actually thought I knew the best ways to learn languages because I'd done them in the past. I studied languages during university. I studied languages during my doctorate program of pharmacy, different languages, different ways of studying. And I thought I knew the best ways to knock out a language to a decent degree to become, conversational in language. And things have drastically changed with beginner to level playlists, whatever, from the Comprehensible Thai YouTube channel. So join me on this walk. It is probably one of the worst days out here in Boca Raton, Florida. As you can see, it is a cloudy day. It's 62 degrees, but when you're in South Florida, 62 is literally freezing. If you see anybody, they're probably wearing jackets, hats, and gloves because people basically become like iguanas out here. But now let me see if you've seen an iguana because it would be very common to have them right over here. But what I want to get to is that after I finish the B1 playlist from the YouTube channel, I actually went back to my ASMO book. I really plan on just finishing out ASMO and dredge through the courses because the B1 playlist got me very fatigued, to be quite honest. It was very tiring to get through there because the videos were long. I wasn't used to the Thai language. And this could be a mixture of me being, 35 plus, trying to learn a language with a toddler, with a job, and all this other stuff going on. If you're feeling like if you're studying a language and it's tiring for you, you feel like it's difficult, or you're just so bored of the material, or listening to it just gets you mentally tired. It's kind of hard to explain if you've never done this, but spending an hour, 2 hours of a language you don't really understand that well and consuming content on there can definitely make you feel very, very fatigued. And if you're feeling that way, I just want to let you know it does get better. So I went through that B1 feeling like this language is very tiring. I didn't know how it was really progressing. This is a completely different paradigm of way of learning this automatic language grow for this comprehensible input only type of approach. And I got to say that it completely changed when I went back after that playlist. I went to the ASMO book. If you follow my previous videos, it's like a French-based textbook to learn Thai. I've used it for other languages that are mainly European pretty successfully. And I found the first 40 or so lessons to be easy to put together in my head, listen to the audio, and just make things out so it's not noise. But after, lesson 70 and beyond to lesson 100, it became completely noise. There was no way I was learning pretty much anything I was really listening to. But after the B1 playlist, I went back there and it was so easy. It was absolutely easy. And the previous lessons I haven't seen in quite a while, I didn't have to translate anything in my head. It was just automatic, and this was quite surprising. So I was actually excited and I went right into the B2 playlist. So this is how I got above 200 hours, comprehensible input. And this doesn't include, native content that I was consuming. I did change that completely. So if you want to learn more about that, stay to the end because I kind of changed my approach. I realized something was wasting time. But anyways, let's talk about this B2 level playlist. They introduced some new speakers in the series that I thought were absolutely amazing. Breath of fresh air from the two that I got so used to. And the one that made the super, super long videos, they do return back. I was gonna skip those videos at first. I finished pretty much all the videos that entertained me the most with the titles and the teachers I liked the most. And then went back to watch their longer videos. And it wasn't as bad because something just clicked. Something just completely changed where I was able to endure these longer lessons. I was able to watch, Thai language, easy Thai language, fairly easily without feeling fatigued. And it's probably part of it is the excitement of the ASMO book becoming entirely so much simpler. So I basically consumed the B2 playlist fairly quick. So I jumped from, a video or two or so a day to, try and go over 5 videos a day, just trying to consume as much as I can and enjoy the learning language process. And for people who are wondering if these things get easier, the more you consume, it seems like things get more enjoyable and way easier. It definitely progresses to a point where I'm getting more and more excited. So I actually went back to some videos that are on YouTube, like a playlist, and people that are still trying to listen and understand too. And I realized I'm just gonna mainly focus on the slice of life, you know, the daily activities, because I can actually understand them, and I understand them without translating. Now, a decent portion, not 100%, no way 100%, but a lot of the daily life stuff that you see over and over, I definitely enjoy it way more. And I feel like I definitely benefited from the B2 playlist. My comprehension is completely different now because I'm not translating in my head. I just hear it and I know what it means. And it's quite surprising. And this is what's going to change moving forward. So I was going to go back to learn the Thai script, but learning more about this theory because it's relatively new to me. Most of my language studying has been over 10 years ago now. And this is one of the few languages where you could study using this method. This Comprehensible Thai YouTube channel, actually one of the teachers on there is married to Pablo from Dream in Spanish, another language that you can use this type of input method with. She basically just Thai and Spanish. If you're learning those two languages, you can use this. So this is an opportunity for me to experience something different in life. So I'm gonna really double down on this B3 playlist, knock this out quickly as possible, make sure my focus is still up and I'm not being fatigued as much. And I'm planning on carrying this entirely through, documenting my process. And, you know, I wanted to get to an A2 level within a year of speaking. And this is where, you know, things are interesting. So using this method, I'm not really speaking, I'm not really practicing speaking the language. I do interact with my daughter, and when I know things are correct and it just comes naturally, I'll say it to her, and we have like these little inside jokes, and when we're watching Thai shows, she's starting to understand as well. So it's very exciting. It's a very fun family experience. If you are thinking about using this method, I feel things are getting better. It can definitely be a dredge. It can be slow and boring in the beginning, but after you finish the B2, I definitely feel like things got drastically better in my comprehension, and I'm enjoying B3 even more. And it's probably a mixture of the excitement knowing that it's working and I don't have to stay there and write sentences. I used to literally write paragraphs in these different languages as practicing, and you know, I still see people do this. It's still popular, obviously, but the fact that I can just sit there and integrate this differently in my life now, and you know, some things, if you are going to use this method, what I found, don't drive. That's never good. But I can't really go to the gym and do this method. I can't work out. I can't do a lot of things. I can wash dishes and kind of look at it, make coffee. But if there's anything where it's taking brain power, there's no way I can actually learn from this. There's people that will post online that they do all this stuff while they're watching videos like this, and I don't know how much they can actually, you know, absorb. So I'm watching these videos. I usually I'm sitting down, I'm isolated, I have noise canceling headphones on for the most part, and I'm doing something that's, I'm highly focused on the actual videos. This is just a tip, what I found that worked for me. If I read Reddit, if I read anything in English, there's an English subtitle anywhere around, my absorption just goes drastically down. So if you're having trouble absorbing the lessons, something I did, and I went back and rewatched the lessons that I felt like this was failing me, where I checked on my phone, I looked, I read a message, I felt like my comprehension on the video just drastically went down. So if you are going to use this method, I highly recommend, if you want to be as effective as it was for me, is that really isolate yourself from anything that could take your brain to something that's easier, such as an English subtitle, an English text, a Reddit post, a Facebook post. Separate yourself as much as possible from English or your native language as possible, so when you're focusing on these videos, you can passively absorb it in a very effective way. Now, if you want to follow me on my journey, I plan on making more updates about learning the Thai language, Thai food, Thai environment later on this channel. So please like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.